everybody that have joined so far. We're just waiting for about a minute, maybe even a little less. Everybody's joining at the moment. We've got just under 300 people that registered for this webinar this morning. So just want to give everybody a little bit of a chance to join. A very, very warm welcome to everybody that's joined us this morning for the second installment in the series of 5 Inspirational Women in Cricket webinars in partnership with HobbyX. My name is Annelie Reynolds and I'm the show director for HobbyX. Touching on the HobbyX event, the festive edition will take place from the 4th to the 7th of November at Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit and International Convention Centre. Now, this morning, we have a very dynamic and diverse lady hailing from Durban as our guest here in the Cricut studio. It is my honor to introduce Ntukozo Masinga. She holds a degree in strategic marketing communications and now has her eye on a master's degree in digital economic studies with a focus on intellectual property law and regulation for influencers, musicians, and other artists operating on social media. She's a wife and a self-taught foodie, a digital content creator, co-owner and businesswoman of In Full Bloom, a coffee lover like me, creative spirit, and she radiates inspiration to all women. Now the question is, how does cricket fit into her life? Ladies and gentlemen, Martin Creer from Cricut will take over from here.
Hello and welcome everybody. So my name is Martin and I head up the Middle East, Turkey, Africa and Russia region for Cricut. It's days like this that really excites me. Not only do we get to meet a superwoman and get to learn more from her, but we also get to engage with our lovely members. So I want to thank you all for being here today and welcome to this exciting webinar. So last week I had the privilege to launch this exciting webinar in partnership with HobbyX, where we really celebrate women in cricket, all leading up to Women's Day. And what a lucky guy can I be? Today I get to do it all over again, but with another superwoman. Now, today's superwoman is really somebody special and amazing. I think you guys heard about all of her degrees. She's got her own business, In Full Bloom, if you want to go and Google it up. She just does so many things in terms of accolades. She's got so many career standards that she's already met. So with that, I want to introduce you guys to our superwoman VIP for today, Ntukozo.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited about this opportunity with HobbyX and Cricut. And yeah, super excited, especially in the month of August, Women's Month. I mean, yeah, such an honor.
Awesome. And we love having you, Ntukozo. So before we start, Ntukozo, what is this in front of us today? What are you going to be making? I really want to learn a bit more. Let's tell the audience what's going on today.
Okay, so I am a super fan of vinyl print, purely because In Full Bloom, that's our personalization option. So I really love the versatility of like vinyl in general and the fact that you can apply it almost to everything. And Cricut makes this very easy, very simple, doing it at home. It's just an incredible piece of material to work with.
I can't agree with you more. I think you mentioned your business, and I think you spoke about it a little bit earlier on.
Yes.
I wanted to understand where did your business come from, and you actually told me it was your mom's idea.
Yes, so it's funny story. In my family, I'm the the person who takes celebrations a bit too seriously. I'm the Christmas maker at home. And eventually my mom just got to a point where she's like, why don't we start a business? Because you keep doing this for everyone. So from flowers to personalized t-shirts and everything else. So that's how the business started. She basically pushed me towards doing what I really love for my family into something that could generate money, but also bring happiness to other people and their families as well.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. I mean, your kindness has gone so far
Yeah.
so that you can actually take your passion into something that you love and
Definitely.
turn it into a business.
Mm.
I think before we start, I do want to reach out to the audience. We want you guys to feel part of this. Let's engage on the chat.
Cool.
So I'm
Yeah.
going to ask you guys, let's start off with some simple questions. Where are all of you guys calling in from today? I know we've got some international guests from different cities in South Africa as an example. Let us know in the chat where you guys are calling in from, but I want to get to important business quickly. Ndukozo, it is Women's Month. We want to thank you for being here, for being up on this journey with Cricut, but also happy Women's Month.
Thank you so much. It was such a perfect gift. I look pretty. Thank you. Just put a chair for now.
I guess I made it awkward.
Received.
Okay, so let's get straight into it. So let's see what some of the members are saying. Where are they coming in from? We've got somebody from Hartenbos on the call, somebody from Boksburg, Pretoria. Where's all of your friends from your hometown?
Durban and Tongaat and Alberton and Ferndale and Sandton.
All over
the place.
I haven't seen that. There's an international guest. We've got somebody from Namibia on the call today.
Nice.
I'll keep an eye out to see some more of them as well. Yeah. So let's get into it. I mean, we are here to celebrate women, and today in specific, we want to celebrate you and learn more about you and your success stories to see how we can inspire other women out there. So because this is probably the deepest, most important question we want to know. We want to know, who are you? The real and raw Ndukozo. Where do you come from? Where have you been? And where do you aspire to go in life?
Okay, so I'm originally from Durban and I came up to Joburg to study, and obviously strategic marketing communication, which is probably the most creative advertising space that you could ever want to be in. So I came here to study, and I wanted to pursue a career in advertising and basically marketing, because I thought that's exactly where my passions lie. I'm an academic at heart, but like I said, I'm very invested in making family very happy through special occasions. And that's where my creativity comes in. But I'm fun, lighthearted, bubbly. And I also have social media as a backup just to basically express myself. I've made it a platform where I can talk about my family and my life and my career and the things that make me happy, and hopefully making other people happy as well. So in a nutshell, that's the kind of person that I am.
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, I've only recently met you, and I really think you're somebody that we can learn from. You're such a kind-hearted person, but at the same time, you're so inspirational. You have that drive to go and study, to start your own business. And at the same time, you have not forgotten to be kind to others, which is really, really important in today's tough times. So I think an easy question, or a quick one, in terms of originally a Durban girl, tropical cities, and now you're in Joburg. How has that been as an adaptation for you?
Oh, that's been a big adaptation. I think winter is probably the worst, but fast-paced city, which actually brings creativity alive. That's the most beautiful thing about being in Joburg. There's so much to do. There's so much to look at. There's so much to inspire. I love the city. I love the buzz. I love basically everything about it, compared to the very tropical, slowed down holiday vibe Durban. That's the disparity. So obviously when I want to refresh, I go home and I kind of settle into that and then come back to the hustle and bustle of Joburg.
That's very cool. I think it always amazes me. It's the opposite, right? All the Durban people always comes up here, and all of us Joburg guys just want to rush down and go live in Durban. It's so amazing. So, Ndukozo, I want to hear from you. You know, you did mention you're an academic at heart. So where did your interest come to study for a degree in strategic marketing?
To be quite honest, I think there was no, there was no inspiration of sorts. I think I've just been a creative at heart, and I just didn't know which avenue to kind of express it in, because I'm the first marketer in my family. It's been a very foreign thing. Everyone's been very the normal type, accountant, lawyer. And I've always been the one who just kind of go sideways. So in order to kind of make everyone happy, that's where I fell into. But the nice thing about it is I got to express my creativity. I got to think out of the box. I got to do all these other amazing things. And yeah, so I think instinctively, I've always just been creative, and I've always wanted to do things kind of out of the box and make it fun and make it look cool. Yeah.
Love that you still have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
You mentioned it first in your family is public speaking at first?
Public speaking.
Because you seem like a natural.
I don't think it's a first. My father's a pastor. So I think, I think possibly that's where it might come from. But yeah, I don't know.
Awesome. Pastor's daughter.
Yeah.
So I want to hear from the audience. We are going through what we call Women's Month in South Africa, and we're living in inspirational times. So we're trying to be there and inspire each other. So I want to ask the audience, what are some of the most inspirational messages that you've ever received or that you want to give today? Please write them in the chat. Maybe there's somebody on this call that really needs to hear that today. What is the most inspirational thing for you, or what is the most inspirational thing that you can say to a woman?
I think the most important thing, especially in these trying times, is there's still a possibility to do anything that you want to do or anything that you want to put your mind to. Because we tend to forget and we tend to kind of look at all the obstacles prior and think it's impossible. But I think it's still important for women to believe that they do have the ability and they are able to make their dreams come true or do whatever. If it's the degree that you want to get, then go ahead, do the degree. If it's, for example, that new house or redecorating or whatever, this time shouldn't hinder you from thinking that it's impossible. I think even more reason, if we're at home and we have all the time, this is where you should be making your dreams come true.
I agree. And I love that you say that everybody has the ability to do something. And everybody doesn't just have the ability, but you all have a place in this world. I mean, you do as women. I really respect you guys.
That's true.
So something else that I did want to ask maybe is, have you always been creative? How did you come into, I think we started speaking about how did you get to your business, but have you always been creative your whole life?
Yes, partially. I think I've always just been creative because when you want something and the resources aren't there, you are pushed to be very creative. Or if you want something and you've already been told that you can't get it, if you're very determined, then you find ways of being creative. So I think I've always been quite a stubborn child to a certain extent, where I'd never take no for an answer. And therefore, if you didn't want to, like, for example, buy me that pair of sneakers, I would make those. I will design those according to what I want. If you didn't want me to have that bag, I will make sure that I get that bag, whether you buy it or I make it. So I think I've always been just very determined in that sense and very creative. And that's also very pushed me being creative because I just want what I want when I want it. So,
I love that. And we've got mom in the audience and she's nodded her head to say yes, that's definitely true. But I think it's that perseverance, the perseverance drive in you that's made you so successful today, right? To get to where you want to be as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I think let's see, what are we doing in terms of the craft? So do you want to maybe go into a little bit more detail in terms of what we're making today?
Sure.
Do you want to show the audience something here?
Cool. So I think I picked a little theme, just more around celebration, because I think it's Women's Month. We need to celebrate something. We need to have a bit of inspiration as well. So I looked at just core celebrations like birthdays and good times and gifting someone and making someone feel special. So like I said, I'm the biggest vinyl fan. I put vinyl on everything because that's like the nicest way to personalize everything, just give everything a personalized touch. So this is like one of the signature floral arrangements that we usually have. And what we usually offer our customers is the option for them to like write a name or personalize it with a message. And what I've done today is basically create a vinyl sticker using the Cricut to personalize the box. So I think, like you said, today's keyword is believe and dreams and making, your dreams come true. So we printed out the word believe. And basically what I'll do is probably do a run of the print. Like I said, we used the vinyl. So let me move this out of the way.
Okay.
So we use the vinyl, but this is going to be printed in black.
Let me just maybe move this away because the match will need to come through, right?
Yes.
I'll be hiding behind it.
So we use the black vinyl,
Yeah.
and obviously the most fabulous Cricut machine. And we're going to print out a vinyl right now.
All right, so when you click the C, now the vinyl is cutting, right?
Yes, so now it's cutting. I mean, obviously you can play around with this, whatever maybe the gifting is for. If it's a birthday, we can always write happy birthday. If it's an inspirational gift or congratulations, we can always put it in and just be creative and play around. This is also with images, so we can print out or print out vinyl images as well and play around with that. I think it's a beautiful, thoughtful gift to give a lady who loves flowers, but also just give it that personal touch. So like I said, it's printing, but we already had one that we treated, which was the Believe.
So if I wanted to do something for my wife, I can just send you a message and say, hey, Nzukozo, this is what I want, these flowers. Can you put this message on there? And you'll cut it with your Cricut, and with the vinyl will be on there, right?
Yes, that's exactly what we do.
Do you want to add that on there? And while you're doing that, maybe I can just jump to the chat to kind of see what the guys are saying on there.
Sure.
I'm going to try and read out some of the messages in terms of what we've asked the audience for. So I saw one here earlier on, in the corporate world, don't be ashamed of your tears. That's pretty nice one, I think. In one year from Lindell, I used to do community development in rural communities in the Eastern Cape. A guy that was in my workshops tracked me down after a year just to say thank you and let me know I changed his life. It reminds me that you never know the impact you have on others' lives.
That's very true. Like the smallest gesture that you might not consider as a big thing might make a big difference in someone's life. So I think sometimes, you know, if there's an opportunity for you to be kind, be kind. You never know what exactly you might be doing in terms of the long run. So
you don't, right? Yeah. You don't know what the person next to you is facing, or maybe what impact you have on somebody's lives. I really like that. Let's try and pull out one more, and then we can move on a bit. I think maybe this one could be answered by you. So I asked my dad with a heavy heart, because I'm trying to make more creative career change. What do you think I'll be good at? He replied, whatever you are passionate about and whatever you put your mind to.
Definitely. I always have this belief that what you have passion for and what you really love is the easiest thing that you can ever do. You enjoy, that's the best job you can ever have, because every day you're doing something that you enjoy. So that should be able to generate money for you and make it a career that can sustain you. That's just my core belief.
I definitely like that message as well. I think, we got to realize that when you're working, whether it's your own business or doing a career, you're going to be spending most of your time doing that in your life. So might as well choose something that's fun and something that you enjoy.
That is
going to be the biggest part of your life. Okay, so Ntukozo, you're passionate about foods, fashion. A lot of these things are clearly creative outlets. So do you see yourselves as naturally creative?
Oh, most definitely. I think the reason why I would say that is it consistently resonates in my life in almost everything that I do or touch. So I would think that I'm creative, and I always find a creative avenue in everything that I do. Like you mentioned, food and fashion and those kind of avenues. I think those are indicators that I'm quite creative.
Food is something to get excited about, right?
Yes, definitely.
So I think this is an important question, right?
Yes.
And a lot of us, especially in times of today, don't know how to find motivation. How do you motivate yourself? What motivates you, and how do you do self-motivation? And are there maybe perhaps people in your life that inspires and motivates you?
Definitely. Yeah, I think motivation now is, I mean, really important just to get through life, considering the times that we are in. But I find motivation from basically my aspirations and my dreams and wanting to do more and better, faster, quicker. Firstly. Secondly, I think my family's been very supportive and just, being there and accepting, the kind of things that I want. I was lucky enough that I had people very supportive around me. So my family, my mom, my brothers, they really inspire me to be a better person and just do better in general. So they inspire me quite a lot. But also just like all the women in South Africa were doing and other countries who are doing amazing work in different fields are truly an inspiration. And I think August is not long enough to celebrate that. Personally, that's what I think. But just every woman is doing amazing things, the kind of things that you see. I mean, the kind of things that I see in the Cricut Facebook page is just mind-blowing. The creative work and the little pieces of art that people just create on a regular is very inspirational. Yeah.
I think you mentioned a very big point in terms of, Cricut's got these really amazing communities that we develop in every country that we go to. The Cricut Family South Africa is a Facebook group that we've created, and I have to say it inspires me on a daily basis. The amount of things that I see in there where people are so supportive, or women are supportive of one another. We also like to see, what they are crafting. We get to see amazing things in that group. I also do see a lot of stories every single day where people have started businesses, or Cricut has helped them to come out of tough times, especially driven by these COVID economical times. So I agree that the Facebook groups are something really amazing as well in our end. So maybe I'm going to ask to the audience now, what does it mean for you to have a creative outlet, or what is your creative outlet? Let's jump onto the chat if you guys want to jump on there. And while we're there, where are we with this?
So we've stuck on our vinyl sticker. And like I said, it just creates that extra touch on a blank canvas or a blank box. And like I said, this is something that you can gift. But the nice thing about it is once the flowers die, you still have a box that is multifunctional, that you can still use with anything else. You can use it as storage. But I think like the nicest thing about Cricut is the multiple vinyls that you can get. So like gold vinyls like this, which add like different personal touches, and like reds and golds. Those are the kind of things. But I think another thing that's also a nice touch is the metallic markers that you can maybe add on as well, or print something on them as well, which gives an extra personal touch because it's handwriting, it's yours, it's your own print. So I'm really, like I said, really obsessed with vinyl. The mere fact that you can stick it on things like, for example, a mug. You can create your own mug at home with your own name and personalize it. So yeah, just in general, the versatility of the vinyl.
I think you mentioned something there, vinyl, and I see this on a lot of craft groups. Can a woman ever have enough vinyl?
Definitely not. I don't think so. Another example is just something, this was crazy enough. This was just a box that was given as a bridal shower thing. The mere fact that you could take a simple box like this and put an extra touch on it for a person that you really love and store things in it. But no, there's no enough vinyl at all.
I think something we're seeing is personalization and customization has become a global mega trend.
That's true.
Are you seeing that on your end?
Yes, definitely. Everyone wants to be different. I guess that's just being human. And the fact that we have that avenue to create something specially for you, or for you to create something that you can't buy at a shop or you can't get elsewhere, it makes it extra special because it makes you feel special inside because it's designed just for you. So personalization is like next level right now. Everyone wants something unique.
So is this gift ready for me to give to my wife now?
Yes.
I'm
There you
taking chances. There's nothing wrong. Talking about life partners, your
Yes.
husband, you recently married. How does he support you through all of this? Maybe some crazy adventures that you get up to.
I think I was lucky enough to marry someone who's a bit like me. My husband is a film major, so he's a film graduate, and
Oh.
there's a lot of creativity that happens in the house and reading film credits. So he's very supportive because I think he's just the same in spirit as well. We're very creative. Even with our house, we recently just moved into a new house, so everything needs to look ultra different and ultra cool and very unique to us as well. So he's very supportive in that sense, and he's just kind of a double of me, a double of me.
It's really amazing to hear that your life partner is not just supportive of you, but you guys can actually enjoy your creativity together. So, of course, let's jump into the chat. Let's see what some of these ladies are saying in terms of what is creativity for them. Do you want to maybe read out one or two of them?
Okay, so Lihle Butilezi says, you can transfer vinyl into glass and ceramic, but there's a separate machine for doing mugs. And thinks it's still dishwasher safe, which is, I mean, a really cool thing. Like I said, the versatility of vinyl is just really amazing. Prospects, glass, anything, or ceramics. So that's really amazing.
What's this one here? To be creative for me is me time.
Oh, yes, definitely. I think there's a sense of serenity in being creative. And we made a little joke earlier about reading, where some find it very therapeutic, while others find it quite tedious.
What is reading?
So reading is basically taking a vinyl like this. Once the vinyl's been printed out, we obviously need to transfer it into tape paper. But for all the copy to come out, we basically use one of these tools, and we not rip, but like kind of tear. Okay, let's not doing that.
I am a master of skill.
Let's see. Okay. Wow. Okay.
I guess this is one of those times it's not therapeutic, right?
No, I guess it's one of those times. But there we go.
There we go. When it does work, it actually does.
It does work. And the nice thing
go.
about the Cricut vinyl is very easy to read. So it's not tedious in that sense where, so this is the reading process where you basically take the excess vinyl away from your particular word that you've printed out.
While you're busy reading, maybe I can jump into the next question. I think you've proven very successful over the years in various different aspects of your life. What are your secrets to that success? How would you motivate a lady sitting on that end today to go out there and get their goals or go and achieve them?
Once again, I think I have to basically go back to my statement of just believing in yourself and your capabilities, and just also understanding that when you do that, the process is not going to be easy. Maybe it sounds like it was just an overnight thing, but there was a lot of hard work and determination and persistence and working over and over again. But I think the core thing is just believing and being motivated to pull through and finish it off. And it won't come easy. I think that's what people usually don't say, that it's hard work. But when you're determined enough to get something, then definitely.
It's always, I think I heard a song the other day, I do my crying in the rain, so it's where people don't see the tough things that you are going through. But it's all down to that one word, right?
Yeah,
believe in yourself.
Definitely. So
and that's what she's just read.
Yeah. This is what I just read it. So the next step after this would be to use the transfer tape so that you can put it on to whatever material that you'd want to use it on.
So easy, even I can do it.
True, very easy, very simple.
Talking about tough times, how do you persevere through tough times?
Yeah, I don't think there's a working formula for that, right? I really don't believe. I mean, we've gone through the toughest time, especially with COVID, losing people, finding out, that certain people are no more. And there's no working formula to that. And it's just, I think for me, obviously, I have my faith and my belief to lean on. But it gets tough. I mean, it gets really tough, and there's no formula. We try and just keep it moving. You think of other people, and there's always a saying that says, when you think you're going through the worst, there's someone who's going through 10 times worse than you. So gratitude then becomes a very important thing, because you need to be grateful for every moment and everything that you have.
That's very true. And I think we spoke about it a little bit earlier on before this webinar started. Tomorrow is not a given, right?
True.
You know, we got to be grateful for absolutely everything we've got. So I think the next question, what is it you want to achieve next? Or maybe this, before we do that, let's jump to the audience in terms of, how do you persevere through your tough times? What can you tell us, or tell somebody around us to motivate them to get through their tough times? Or what is the remedies that you use? I was going to say, how do you, what is your next achievement? What is next up there for Ntokozo? You've reached so much. I know you're not done yet. So no, what is next there?
I have lots planned. I have quite a lot planned. So basically, in terms of the company, I obviously want to grow it a bit more. It's online based. We're thinking of having a physical store where people can actually experience, have a physical experience with flowers. And I know it might sound quite stupid, but people find flowers very therapeutic and just uplifting. So we'd want to have a proper shop where we can also bring in people to work and create opportunities for other people as well, in a different space that's unconventional. That's firstly one of my goals. Secondly, I'm considering my PhD, which is still in the pipelines. It's still in the pipelines, but I think just to, be able to inspire a bit more, be able to be creative in different avenues, and be able to showcase that in multiple ways. I think for me, that's just one of my life's goals, and be able to look years later at it and go, look, these are the kind of things that I've done, and these are the kind of places that I've been through doing what I love.
That's amazing. You're definitely already starting to leave a legacy, and I hope people are being inspired. Well, definitely, I'm sure there's people being inspired by you. You mentioned PhDs and so many things like masters you've already going through.
Yes.
What is it like studying today in COVID times? What is it like? Is it manageable?
It's definitely not easy. It just adds another layer of intricacy, because when you're doing your PhD and your master's, you don't have interactive classes. You are basically on your own with your supervisor, who's supposed to consistently guide you. So you go from meeting them one-on-one and having a relationship with them, to them becoming a person on a screen with a name. And over time, and it's the thing about a master's and a PhD, there's no allocated time. So this might be a relationship of 4 years that's online with someone who lives 10 kilometers away, for example. So it hasn't been easy, but the times as well and the external impacts are what makes it super complicated, and everything that happens around during that time. So it hasn't been the best of times, but we make do. We really make do.
I can only imagine. I mean, it's just studying for something as big as that must be tough on its own, and then having all of these different curveballs thrown at you. I lift my hat off to you. That's pretty amazing.
Thank you so much.
Well done doing that. Cricut.
Yes.
You recently got introduced to Cricut. Almost everybody in South Africa who's only recently launched. What kind of part do you see Cricut playing in your creative life today and in future?
So from a work perspective, obviously this is a have-to tool, if there's such a thing. I mean, this tool is just so versatile, from vinyls to basically everything, printing out t-shirt, everything you can ever imagine with your eye, you can literally do with this machine. So from a business perspective, it's a good opportunity to expand on the company, offer other services as well. And then on a personal scale, it is a creative avenue for me to kind of, put my head in and relax and do something fun and do something creative, and be able to gift family and be able to create little moments with everyone, and create spaces in my house and in my kitchen. Like, for example, labeling, your spices with a vinyl. It might not be a big thing, but these are the creative avenues that this new machine brings, and it's just amazing the amount of things that you can do with it. So I'm really, really excited that this has finally come here to this country. And yeah, I mean, you couldn't really ask for more. It's just everything, everything.
You mentioned a couple of things in terms of Cricut, and when we look at our members globally, you kind of summed it up there. A third of our members use it for business. A third of them use it to make things to keep and admire, like you said, around your
Yes.
house. And another third makes them to give them away as gifts.
True.
Just out of not for profit or anything, like just to
But
give
to
away
give,
gifts, right?
yeah.
And that's the different elements that Cricut
Come.
can give you. You can obviously make a business, but what I really like about Cricut is that sense of satisfaction
Yes.
and that heartwarming engagements that you have
Mhm.
with family members or friends,
Definitely.
teachers appreciation gifts as an example. There's literally so many things that you can do with Cricut.
Definitely.
What is the next project for you on Cricut? Is there anything that you've seen some of our professional crafters out there
Oh.
create that you really want to tackle next?
I am like, I think the one project which is now giving it away, my mom's birthday is coming up soon. So I'm already trying to plan the kind of things that I can do with a Cricut for birthdays. I saw in the group where people are doing amazing cake toppers, you know, wrapping paper, gifting ideas. I just have a lot, a lot planned to use the machine for, but also to just make it extra special and kind of give her what she wants that we can't buy anywhere. So give her a theme that will speak to her as a person. So I'm super excited about that. And Christmas as well. I think there's no other important holiday like Christmas. And this year, I think we're gonna just go all out with the red and green.
I think there's two things that stand out to me. And again, you know, you prove your kind heart there. You know, you didn't tell me about something that you want to make for yourself in the house. You immediately went into something that you want to give to somebody, and your mom, somebody as special as that, right? And you're right. You can now make it something that you can't buy in the
You
shop.
can't buy.
You can really customize it and personalize it just for your mom. And Christmas is amazing. I guess.
Christmas.
Is Christmas already started in your home? Is the decorations up yet? Christmas in July?
I think Christmas only starts when I say that it starts this year. Every year. I think I'm very obsessed with Christmas. I'm the one who kind of pushes everyone. It's like, it's November already. We need to start Christmas. So I'm super excited for Christmas. I mean, from little things like glass baubles that we can have everyone's name on, and we can, you know, carry these things down for years and years and probably make traditions with family out of is what I'm looking forward to. Really excited.
Awesome. I think that's the nice thing. We can now customize any events in the year, right? There's so many different things on the calendar, and you can make something special. So I think one more question, right? And I hope I know the answer, I guess. Would you inspire somebody to get into creativity and Cricut? Is it worth it?
Definitely. Definitely. If you ever want an outlet to kind of shy away and get into your little corner, this is the best way to do it. Where your imagination can run wild and you can do anything that you want to do for whatever purpose that you want it for. So I would encourage everyone to kind of purchase a Cricut, have your own little projects, think out of the box, print things that you don't think that you'll ever be able to print, give things that you ever didn't think that you'd be able to gift or buy from a shop. It's also an avenue just to, you know, have time with yourself, give yourself some self-love and do something that you love. Find a bit of serenity in this crazy world of COVID while you're at home. Explore your talents as well. You just might never know what you're really good at. So I think this provides an avenue to do all of that and more.
I agree. And I think I said this in one of the previous shows as well, but you don't have to be creative. I used to think I'm not creative. I even made a joke, said I can't draw a stick man. I really can't draw one. With Cricut, you really just literally have to dream up something, and the machine will do absolutely everything else for you. That's really how cool and how easy it is. So, Ntokozo, we've come to kind of the end of me asking questions, but now I'm going to ask you, do you have any questions for me? After that, we're going to jump into a Q&A with the audience to kind of hear their thoughts, you know, what do they want to know from us? And then last but not least, we will close off with a prize giving.
Yes, the exciting
do you have any questions for me? Cricut, the audience?
So I think I want to ask the audience. I'll probably ask the audience, that already have a Cricut, probably what they do and the cool little things that they do it with. I think the most used material, I'm hoping it's vinyl, but I want to know what the most used material is.
I think it probably would be vinyl, though. I don't know. So let's ask the audience. Audience, what is your favorite material to craft with on Cricut? So,
Yeah.
okay, so before we get into the Q&A, so let me see. I've got no more questions to you, Nkozo.
Okay.
So let's actually ask the audience. Yeah, vinyl. Yeah, they're already coming in.
I know.
I don't own one yet. Amanda, don't worry, you'll own one soon. Jump in there, Nkozo.
I made cake toppers, yeah, and stationery. I'm a big fan of stationery as well. So
Somebody cotton.
cotton, that's also quite different. I'd want to see that, Amanda.
Cardstock is pretty famous.
Yeah,
I like the
cardstock.
3D crafts that they make with
Oh, those
cardstock,
are
yeah.
amazing. Those are really amazing. Cut wood for jewelry.
Yep.
Wow.
Cricut Maker can cut wood indeed.
Oh, scrapbooking. I think that's also really nice.
Are you a scrapbooker?
I was obsessed with scrapbooking for quite some time, and and I'm glad my mom entertained it for a while. So I kind of had a moment where I was kind of obsessed with scrapbooking.
Okay, I think I do want to allocate enough time for the Q&A.
Yes.
So members, we're going to jump into another chat box, which is called the Q&A. We're also going to then, after the Q&A, do the winner of the Joy competition. I can't read the name, but I think there's a name that's being shown to me. So I'm going to delay the suspense a bit on who the actual winner is. We're going to jump to the actual Q&A box. So if you want to have any questions, can you jump onto the actual Q&A box and put your questions in there? And I see there's already a couple in there. Stacy, can you buy a Cricut on a payment plan? I don't know if any of our resellers actually do offer that. We do have resellers, authorized resellers published. So you're welcome to contact any of them to see if they are able to offer that. But as Cricut, we don't offer that specifically. We sell through resellers. We don't sell direct. I think maybe you can answer this question. What tips do you have for turning your hobbies and things you love into a business? I am creative and can do a lot with my hands, but haven't been able to monetize it.
Okay, so when it comes to monetization, I think the biggest thing that has probably happened to us is social media. So the nice thing about social media is there's no startup capital to have it live and advertise unless you want to kind of monetize your post or put spend around it. And you can access multiple people from multiple places. So my thinking is, if you feel like there's a need for a particular thing, there's 15 other million people who think there's a need for that particular thing, and that's a business opportunity on its own. So the best way to start would basically to, create a document, have a couple of ideas of the things that you think might work, and then take this to social media. I mean, have your friends follow. It starts off small. Have your friends and your families follow. Do a couple of things for those people, and then those create avenues for you to promote your product. And you can monetize through this. And there's different avenues to do it. But I think social media is probably the greatest place to start, because you don't need a shop. You don't need startup capital. So yeah, I think that's what I would advise.
I love this. I love that you can actually do that just with your own social media accounts. That doesn't cost money. You can actually really start a business, and it grows. Just a lot of hard work and energy.
Yeah,
it will grow. I think
and
just
effort.
on top of that is, a lot of people ask us this question in terms of, what business should I start with my Cricut? Now, the Cricut can do a lot of things, right?
True.
What we suggest is you play with it and find your niche. Find something that you like. If you like making shirts, then start with that and stick with that. Don't try and go into everything. Let's rather find a niche and stick with that, and then start building from there. That's one piece of advice.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Where can we buy Cricut? So if you jump onto our Instagram pages, as an example, Cricut Mia, our authorized resellers are on there. I think this is a good one for you. For making floral arrangements, which is the perfect glue for that?
Okay, so I think glue kind of threw me off a bit. So these floral arrangements are actually real flowers. Let's start there. So they put in an oasis, which is basically a moss thing that absorbs water, and they're arranged on that. But if you're using artificial flowers, you can still place it in the oasis, and it will stay there for a while. Unlike, I mean, glue you can always use if, for example,
I
if
think what a lot
it's a
of our members
card
make with the machines are paper
or
flowers.
paper
They make
flowers.
massive paper flowers. We actually even had a member in the US that their
Oh,
whole
yes.
wedding, all flowers for the whole wedding was made with a
Beautiful.
Cricut. So, okay, tons and tons of hours of work that
Of
has gone in
course.
there, right?
Yeah.
I'm no professional in that space, but I kind of think a glue gun
Glue
maybe.
gun, yeah, definitely a glue gun or any, I mean, it's paper at the end of the day. So any glue that means to paper should work.
Okay, let's see what's else in here. We still have some time. Somebody is asking about Cricut mug press. We're hoping to launch it later this year in this region.
Oh, nice.
We're going through some certification processes. There is a question, which Cricut machine do you recommend for beginners? It really is up to what you want to do with it and where do you want to go with it. If you know you're just going to be cutting simple vinyl, a bit of iron on and things like that, I'll recommend a little Joy. But if you want to be doing bigger things like cutting balsa wood or doing engraving, which are some of the awesome features the Maker can do, then I'll probably say invest in a Maker. Do you have suppliers in Dubai? So we have international callers. We will be announcing our authorized resellers in Dubai very soon. We are set up. We have already started shipping to some of them. So we're just gearing up and there's some exciting announcements coming up in that regard. Is there a place where someone gives lessons on Cricut? So we've got lots of ambassadors in the country, but the Facebook group that you mentioned earlier on, we have live classes on those Facebook groups every week. This week it will be intermediate, next week it will be a pro class, and then it will go to beginner class. So it keeps running like that, and it's offered in English and in Arabic and soon Hebrew.
Oh, nice.
Let's just try and get some more questions. So there's lots of answers already being given here, right?
That's
so
true.
just try and get to some of the questions we can answer. When does the Joy launch? So the Joy has officially launched in South Africa this week. I believe there's some news that we've actually sold out in some fronts. So that's pretty good news for us.
It looks, let me showcase it. It looks exactly like this. Right.
Okay, I think we're starting to get to the end of the time. Can they make a free print? No, none of our cutters can print. They all cuts or engrave or emboss, but none of them prints actually. I think there's a general question in terms of how do you become an ambassador. But I think I want to, we don't have a specific process of ambassadorship right now. We had a launch process where we asked for invitations and we got overwhelmed in terms of ambassadors. So we will be communicating next steps on next waves of ambassadors, because we will be bringing on a lot more ambassadors in our region. But I want to ask you, Ntikozo, before we kind of close off and get into the giveaways and then close off, but what words of advice do you have as an influencer to somebody that's out there, maybe just getting started or aspiring to be an influencer? What should they do? What is the basic steps to just get going and make it throughout in this industry?
I think the key thing is niche. I'm going to go back to the niche thing that you said. So you need to find your niche, and there's no such thing as a niche being overpopulated. There's no such thing, because everyone's different and we do things differently. So once you know what you're good at and what comes easy, then you can formulate whatever your page or what you want to talk about or your topic of interest or whatever it is, and it starts there. So that's what makes it easy, because it comes naturally. Once it's forced, you can see that it's forced. So you need to find your niche. Once you figure that out, then it makes life easier, because you don't have to put in a lot of work. It just comes naturally. So it starts there. And then once that happens, brands will come to you because they see that this is your thing. So brands that are affiliated and they want to be affiliated with you, they'll automatically come. You don't have to go chasing afterwards because it just comes naturally, and they'll see value in that. So,
Words of wisdom. I can follow through on those.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if there's any burning final questions, or should we get into the exciting bits and actually we give away a machine?
I think so.
I think let's give away the joy winner. Do we have the missing envelope? Because I want you to have the honors to pronounce the winner of the joy competition. We did ask our audience or members out there to share today's webinar. And based on sharing it and liking it and things like that, we had a couple of people in the entry, and today's winner is.
So today's winner is Monette van der Veenhart. I
Well
hope I'm
done,
pronouncing
Monette.
it. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right, but I'm super excited that you get this little baby.
I know you're going to have tons of fun with the joy. We've just launched it in South Africa, so you're going to be one of the many people that are just experiencing it right now. So well done.
Well done.
I think that's it from my perspective.
Yeah.
I think, wow, Ntokozo, you truly do inspire me. I think you have done so many things that I can just lift my head off. I am proud of you, and I don't even know you that well. So well done. I also do want to thank you for being here today. Cricut is on a mission globally where we want to help people lead more creative lives. And I am super excited and proud that you are part of this journey. I do also want to thank, we spoke about the Facebook groups earlier on. I do want to thank our admins on those groups for doing an amazing job, pulling those communities together. We have our lead ambassador, you all know, that's done an amazing job in this country so far. We absolutely appreciate you. And all of our ambassadors, including yourself, and Ntokozo, you guys are the heart and the soul of our organization and pulling all of our members together. HobbyX, this partnership is just starting. It's an amazing journey that we're walking with you guys. I can't wait for the rest of the webinars in this series, as well as being live at HobbyX later this year. That's going to be pretty cool. And then lastly, but not least, I do want to thank Mr. Paul Kruger, our cameraman and owner of this lovely venue, Pretville in Hartbeespoort, for accommodating us and making this webinar series possible as well. So before I turn back to our HobbyX team to do a final closure, and of course, I'm just going to hand over to you. Final words to our audience.
Firstly, thank you for the opportunity and allowing me to experience this. It's very phenomenal. Thank you to HobbyX as well. I really can't wait to go above and beyond my wildest dreams. I think my final words would be keep being creative. The work is amazing, especially on the Facebook group. I think I'm kind of low-key stalking everyone now just for their weekly challenge, especially the B one. I just like, the B challenge is amazing. So you guys also inspire us to do amazing things. We also see the kind of things that you do, and we inspire us to do similar projects. So keep creating and keep inspiring other people as well. So those were my last words. Thank you.
Thank you, Ntokozo.
Thank you so much.
Lovely having you. And thank you, audience. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Back to Annelie.
Thank you, Martin. Wow, Ntokozo. Thank you so much for sharing your tips and tricks with us. It's been an eye-opener, what you've been able to do and what you do with Cricut in your life. Martin, you are an amazing host, and you keep it all on the road and exciting, like last week. Our audience has also been fantastic, extremely engaged. I am overwhelmed. I also want to say congratulations to Monette van Veenhart. And then some more news. We've got 3 more installments of the Inspirational Women in Cricut coming up during Women's Month. So on Monday, the 23rd of August, we've got Christy Panaggio, a well-known actress. You might know her from Seven de Laan. She will demonstrate various ways of cutting samples with the Cricut Joy and showcasing its possibilities for card making, personalization, and crafting on the go. Yuvilna Nolte will show us how to use a Cricut machine to create an art journal on the 27th of August, that's a Friday. And then on the 31st of August, last day of Women's Month, Nan Day will cut craft stencils on the Cricut Maker, and she'll teach us how to use these custom stencils on painted projects. We hope to see you all on these upcoming webinars. I, for one, cannot wait. Until then, we'll see you soon.